All right, welcome. Welcome to 2021. Welcome to Financial Computing 2. Welcome back. Good to virtually see you all again. I'd like to have a look at the syllabus briefly, so let me take a look at that. So, you can access the Canvas site for Financial Computing 2 and have a look at the syllabus. This is going to be very similar to what we did back in Financial Computing 1, so I'm not going to dwell on this for a whole lot of time. I am me, John K. Ostland. I am still hiding from COVID-19, waiting for my turn at the vaccine, so I'm going to be conducting my courses this spring, continuing to hide in my basement here. I will be available to you 7 days a week, pretty routinely between about 10 in the morning and 9 in the evening, frequently later than 9 in the evening. And I do plan to hold office hours every week, official office hours via Zoom every week from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. each Friday, and from 10 a.m. to noon each Saturday. So hopefully, depending on where you're located, some of those office hours will work for you. And as in Financial Computing 1, if you would like to set up a one-on-one Zoom session with me, please feel free to contact me by email, and I'll be happy to do that. We have 3 teaching assistants with us for this course, Aman, Josh, and Spurthy. All of these are second-year MSCF students who are finishing up their degrees this spring following, hiding from COVID-19 themselves and having their programs go maybe a little slower than originally anticipated. So they will help me with grading homework and to some extent possibly grading quizzes, although the quizzes are, for the most part, just automatically graded. And they may also choose to hold office hours. That's for them to decide. You should feel to contact them by email if you have questions, just as you might contact me. Okay, the final exam will occur sometime between March 12th and March 17th. But I have not yet been told which particular day that will be. And so the date and time for the final exam will be announced when I know that. You've now been programming in Python for an entire semester, both in my course and various other courses. In this course, we're going to have an intensive introduction to the C++ programming language. And then you'll continue with C++ in Professor Kramkov's Financial Computing 3 course in Mini 4, and also in Professor Kramkov's Financial Computing 4 class when you return in the fall, if you choose to take Financial Computing 4 as an elective course, which you should. I strongly urge you to take his Financial Computing 4 course. Here are information about required software. We're going to be using basically the Visual Studio Code editing system with the Free Software Foundation. Let me try that again. The Free Software Foundation's GNU C++ compiler and some related tools. I have posted documentation for that in an early announcement. And a video to walk through how that's done on Windows 10. If you're using a Mac, I have provided some written instructions that Professor Kramkov wrote for how to get things set up on a Mac. There are various online sources of information about C++ that I encourage you to become familiar with. And here are optional, but very highly recommended books about C++ programming. Okay, so Strustrup's C++ programming language book is about 1,200 pages, I think. Jasudis's C++ Standard Library Second Edition book is about 1,000 pages. And Vandevoorde and Jasudis and Gregor's C++ templates book is something like 800 pages, I think. So if you can manage to read your way through these 3,000 pages of these three books, or instead of Strustrup's book, you can use the Lippmann, LaJoy, and Mu primer, you'll know quite a bit, but you still won't know everything. Okay, so C++ is a massive language. It is a challenge to learn, precisely because it is massive. But what I'm trying to do in this course is to give you a very solid, cornerstone foundation to enable you to do real work in C++ and to give you enough concepts, syntax, terminology, so that you'll have a good foundation from which to build your future C++ expertise. I want to encourage you also to, even if you don't feel like you're going to be doing C++, and even if you like Python and would rather be doing Python, please take this very seriously, because actually in any kind of technology-related position, which being a quant certainly qualifies, knowing two languages well is much more than twice as valuable as knowing one language well. So if you know Python really well, that's great. If you know C++ really well, that's great. But if you know both Python and C++ really well, that is a killer combination. You'll be very valuable to lots of potential employers. Okay, now the grading we've talked about in the past. As far as overall evaluation, 20% of your credit will be based on your homework assignments, 35% on topic quizzes associated with each lecture, and the final exam will be worth 45% of your course grade, and that will be a hands-on programming exam during the following week 7. I'm not going to read through this list of all these various topics. These are, you can read through these yourselves, and if you have any questions, you can certainly ask me. But these are the various topics we're going to discuss, and I may, if we have some time, throw in a couple more. You will understand what these are about when we get to the lectures and lecture materials about them. As in Financial Computing 2, I'm going to ask you to work on homework in teams of 2 or possibly 3 people. The majority of our students are in the U.S. this semester, but we do still have several students still in Asia or elsewhere. And of course, social distancing is still in effect, so I don't anticipate that you'll be huddling side by side working on homework assignments. So I'm going to try to pair people up based on the time zone that they're in, but I won't promise to be perfect about that every time. Homework assignments are going to be due each Saturday. So for week 1, January 30th, that is 1 week from today when I'm recording this video. No, I'm sorry, I'm recording it on Friday the 22nd. So 1 week from tomorrow will be when the first homework is due, just before midnight. Topic quizzes will be as they were in FCII. You'll have up to 4 chances to pass each of the topic quizzes. You have to get a score of 87.5% or better to get an A on each of the quizzes. And the rest of this stuff, I think you can read for yourselves. All right, so welcome. I look forward to communicating with you and seeing many of you by Zoom. Hopefully most of you or all of you by Zoom over the course of the next 7 weeks. And good luck.